All right, well, thank you guys for joining the webinar tonight. We're in an exciting phase in our business where we're moving into some new programs, and we have a lot of excitement coming up in the next few months, next few campaigns. Thank you for joining the call. I focus mostly on recruiting and leadership tips on this call, and then I do a whole team call to go over more sales and recruiting. So that call is on the 22nd. That's open to everyone as well. So I like to share the Beauty for a Purpose campaign in here. This one says, beauty proves you care about others and you care about yourself. So, you know, we represent a company about beauty. So whether it's through your appearance or it's the way that you treat other people, you know, just do it with kindness and go out of your way and do extra things for people. Because a lot of people don't stop to do that anymore. We live in a busy world. People are busy. Customer service is poor at most places. So if you can give good customer service and take care of your customers, you will be able to build a solid Avon business. And it's important to be able to be happy for each other as well. I think a lot of women especially get caught up in not being able to be happy for others. So it's something you really need to learn how to do if you can't be happy for other people. When you can be happy for others, you can be happy yourself, and it's contagious. So that brings me into this little cartoon here. Something very exciting is going to happen today. As leaders, let's see, do you guys hear me okay? Judy's saying very quiet. You guys hear me okay? In the chat box? Yes, okay. All right, so as leaders, we need to watch our attitude, watch what we write on social media, see how we behave. If we are griping and complaining and saying we don't feel good, that is going to make our team not feel good too. So when we have excitement and we celebrate, it just makes everyone want to go out and do more. So I've been trying to every single day say congratulations. You know, we're adding 5 to the other day we added 13 new team members in the day. So I am always trying to celebrate and look at the positives and you know, be supportive and happy for my team, and hopefully they want to do that as well. So our agenda, we'll go through some of our team stats, recognition. We'll go over the online offers, some of the sales tools. I put together some productivity tips. I've had a couple leaders ask me about being more effective with their time. I have some leadership tips based on where you at for title. And then we're gonna go over the Rise Up incentive, and I will answer any questions at the end. So Team Momentum is 571 reps strong. We are kind of at a standstill. I haven't seen a big jump. A lot of people do fall off during the summer months. So it's important just to let people know, you know, place an order, keep your Avon account active. A lot of times it's just about reminding people because they get busy and they forget. So as a leader, we want to be communicating so that they don't forget about their Avon business. And October, like I mentioned in the last leadership call, has been my most successful recruiting month out of the whole year. So that is just around the corner. So we are up to 749,000 for the year. My goal is for us to reach 1.3 million. And we already have a sales increase of 425,000, and I'm expecting us to end somewhere around 740,000 for the sales increase. Those numbers sound crazy to me, but it all happened just loving what I do and always improving over my past performance. You know, making good business decisions and trying to teach other. Woo, I thought my glass was gonna drop, but it was just my lip balm. Teaching others how to do the same. All right, so I like to share what's going on in my Avon life and my personal life. So our LABC, our 7-year anniversary was yesterday. It's so hard to believe. Since those 7 years, I've had Ava. Josh is now in 4th grade, so it's just crazy how fast, you know, time goes, and my kids are getting older, and we've been through so much with the Avon stores, and I'm so grateful for where we are today. I actually had the opportunity every year for selling at the inner circle level. You earn a trip to the President's Recognition Program. So I earn a trip and a guest. Instead of bringing Rob this year, I brought my LABC manager. So that's Holly up there in the corner. I know she was really grateful that I was able to do that, and I was very grateful that Avon gives that to me so I could pass that gift on. At the bottom, those are my sisters and my nieces and my mom. So we were at Lake Geneva over Labor Day weekend. My sister has a house there, so we spent time out on the water. The kids got to tube and play with their cousins, so we had a really great time. All right, so campaign 18, excuse me, was a big one. We went over 50,000 for the first time ever, and I expected, we may go down a little bit this campaign, but I expect it to only grow throughout the rest of the year. Thank you, Kim. Yes, within those 7 years of the store, we've moved to 4 different locations. Some of those were not by choice. The mall would move us around, so I'm very grateful to be out of there. We are the number 3 leader team in campaign 18, and year to date, we are still sitting at number 13 among leaders. So we have some strong leaders to congratulate here. We have Leslie, Cheryl, Trisha, Tracy, and Leticia. Top 5 total reps. We have Leslie, Cheryl, Kim, Leticia, and Trisha. And then for appointments in September, it's only the 8th, and all these people have already added to their teams. So great job, you guys. Kim, Cheryl, Leslie, Jen, Tracy, Chantel, Cassandra, Tiffany, Trisha, and Leticia. They have all added, and they are building their business. Great job, everyone. And for those of you that don't have someone, keep trying. You have to put the effort into it as much as you do the sales. So make sure you're doing those recruiting activities. All you have to do is build it into your routine, and it becomes much more natural. So we have the social media center. Hopefully this is all old news for everyone. There's also the text update that I don't think one has gone out since the first one that told everyone their order was due. So hopefully that's coming soon. I think Avon's looking at new ways to communicate with us and finding different ways to reach out to us. So I think that's great. We have some online offers, which I want all of you guys to help me convince Avon Corporate that we need those images. Those, you know, I know we can make our own, But having the specials without the images doesn't help us very much. So I keep reminding them that it would be so helpful to have those. I, as a leader, send those out to my team so that they have images to market. It'll just give us a more consistent base and brand if we're all using the same images. So rally with me and try to get them to have those posted on youravon.com for us. I went to the direct delivery page today, and it still has last week's offers. It's just frustrating when we're wanting to be marketing our business and we don't have the tools there for us. So I try as hard as I can to give you guys some images to use in your social media marketing and your blogs. Here are the current coupon codes going on. So in our Makeup Marketing online group, I did post the presentation so you can print it out for the handouts if you want to see any of this information in detail. There's almost always like 6 or 7 codes that are effective. A lot of times, the only place I will see that is retailmenot.com. So that's been my best resource for finding what specials are going on at any time. The ones where I say limited time, they don't give an expiration, so that way I'm safe with saying it's a limited time only, because if it expires, then someone can't really come back to me and say, well, you said it was good to use it. So for those images, I would either I would go in the Makeup Marketing online group and just remind Jessica that we really want those images. I don't know if it's them not able to produce them early enough to get them to us, but she is aware that we want them. But if we keep reminding them that, maybe they will make it happen for us. So as leaders, we want to take advantage of all of the selling tools that we have. A lot of them are online, so we can provide them to our downline through email or on Facebook. A lot of times I like to cut out the image of the Fab Five so that I have it in a picture format. For me, it's all about trying to get information to my downline, whether it's through email or on Facebook. I try to hit them in different channels so that I reach the most amount of people. My team has got to the point where it is hard to email everyone. So I did just hand over to my ambassadors and above that I start emailing them and they email their teams. So a lot of times I'll do stuff for my first generation, and then I'll let my leaders know what I'm doing so they can copy exactly what I'm doing. So we have our web TV, the What's New brochures. They're posted through campaign 25. So only one more left to be online. Fab Five buys, those are really helpful, especially for new reps who are starting to get to know the different product lines. Learning about 5 products isn't as overwhelming as looking through the whole book. The email center and the social media center are also good places to find sales tools and offers. And then following Avon Corporate. A lot of times they have like really cool campaigns going on, and I think they forget to involve us. So if we follow them on social media, on YouTube and Pinterest, we have more material to use in our own marketing efforts. So definitely follow Avon Corporate on Pinterest, Twitter, Instagram, all their social media channels. All right, so this is old news to most people, but we have to remember we have representatives in every stage of their business. So it's important to always be talking about the basics. So I like to always talk about President's Club, and I always like to show what is possible with leadership. When I was first starting out, I know those big paychecks is what really enticed me to want to do leadership. So there are lots of levels, and it can get complicated if you're just starting out in leadership. But the potential is there to make $25,000 a month. So when you're first starting out and it's frustrating and it's hard to get people to sign up, and then it's hard to get them to place an order, you just have to keep recruiting and keep looking at that potential of what your business could be. I've been working my leadership business only for about 3 years, like consistently, and we're going to do over $1 million this year. So it can happen. You just have to build it into your routine and build sustainable growth. So your role changes as you move through the different stages of leadership. And I always recommend to just look one level above where you're at. If you look all the way to the top, it can get really confusing and you just want to give up. So I always recommend to just look one level up and see what it's going to take to get there. So as a leader, I want you guys to know what I'm earning just through the leadership program. You can see my paycheck has gone from $346 to almost $1,700. So that's 2 weeks time. That doesn't include my personal sales. That doesn't include online sales. That's just my leadership check, and that doesn't include leadership bonuses either. So I mean, look at the growth. Yes, I invest a lot back into my business, but this is what is possible with leadership. We have an 87% sales growth percentage, which is awesome. So let's talk about some productivity tips. I know a lot of us have busy lives. We're parents, we're grandparents, we're involved with church and school and whatever else is going on in our personal lives. We want to make sure that we're productive when we're working on our Avon business. So Cheryl was just recently asking me and Leslie, you know, maybe ideas for how she can be more productive or, you know, condense her schedule. And so I came up with some tips. For me, prioritizing based on what area I want to grow has been really effective. So when I decided I wanted to do leadership, I looked at my weekly activity and realized I was spending all my time on sales activities. So of course I'm not going to get recruits when I'm not putting any work into it. So I started spending half of my time on recruiting activities that I enjoyed. So definitely prioritize, spend your time marketing the opportunity, get into the habit of saying to buy or sell. Maybe that'll put in someone's head that, oh yeah, I did want to check out what it's like to be an Avon lady. So sometimes it's just about using the right keywords to spark someone's interest. So I'm a perfectionist, and it was very hard to give up any control over my business in the beginning because I would just say, well, you know, I might as well do it myself if it's not perfect, you know. And then I realized, okay, I am hindering my growth here. I would rather a lot get done and it not be, you know, completely perfect than me spending all my time doing everything and it coming out to my standards. So as you grow, as you want to do more with your business, you need to either stop working on that part of the business or hand it over to someone else. So if you can find helpers or you can find services to pay that will help you save time so you can spend your time more wisely, then I definitely recommend doing that. Get used to being able to delegate to people. It's a really strong skill that you need to be a good, effective leader. Think about personality traits that may be stunting your growth. So I know myself, being the perfectionist, really held me back for a long time until I started to give up some of that responsibility and was able to spend my time more wisely and in areas that produced more revenue. So then I really liked that, and I got used to it pretty quickly, being able to delegate tasks. Cheryl's asking if it's about her. No, this is about me. I'm just telling you what I have learned on my leadership journey. Personality traits. Another thing that I was scared to death of, I had no confidence. I was not confident in myself. I got nervous speaking to people. But the more I put myself out there, the more I did things that I wasn't comfortable with, the more comfortable I became. And now I have that confidence and I can teach others, and I'm not scared of doing anything. So think about those traits that are holding you back in your life. I also used to worry about what people thought about me, and now I don't worry. I know the people that know me and love me take me for who I am. And if other people want to form opinions about me, then that's their deal. So don't let things that are scaring you hold you back in your business and in your life. Don't duplicate work. So I talked to you about how I passed over some of my communications to my leaders because it was becoming too cumbersome. I also used to have one of my girls sending out order reminders to my team, which I had her stop doing because Avon's doing that now. So Avon is also doing a set of welcome emails, and I have my own set. I was having one of my assistants do them for my team, and then anyone in my first, second, and third generation. I handed that over to my leaders because I want them to get in the habit of doing that for their team. So look at what you're doing and your tasks and see if there's something that you're doing that doesn't make sense anymore. Eliminate interruptions. So this is huge for me. When I get in my zone and I'm focused and I'm being productive, I don't let interruptions get to me. I don't answer the phone. I don't stay and hang out on Facebook because I can get really lost on there. I almost always start scrolling and then forget why I got on there in the first place. So don't leave Facebook open in the background and hearing all those dings going off. For me, it really helps to take out interruptions so I can work steadily. And then, answer back to people at the end of the day, answer emails. If you let interruptions run your day, they will, because there's a phone ringing or someone wants your advice, whatever it is. Just when you're working, try to get into that zone. Check stats periodically. So I like to joke that I think I checked my web office, and we used to not get any notification when someone signed up, so you just have to go into the online appointment screen and check. So I would check there all the time. So I think I was spending more time checking than I was working. So make sure you're not just zoned in on checking if there's activity. Make sure you're being productive to make that activity happen. Again, don't hang out on social media. You're more than welcome to do that if it's just you want to be social. But if you want to be productive and get things done for your business, don't just stay on there. I already said run your own day. So something I like to do is check things in the morning. So I'll look at my emails, I'll check Downline Manager and my web office in the morning. And then I try not to look at that again until I have another break. So don't spend your day answering emails as they come in. It can take up a lot more time than you think. Make a list of your to-dos. This is something that I constantly need to work on because I like to just sit down and start working. But when I do take the time to write down what I need to get done, I'm so much more productive. And it's like, oh man, I got a lot done today. So make a list and check it off. If your spouse or someone's asking you how your day was and you think back and you didn't really do much, maybe that's a sign that you need to start making a list. And yes, Cheryl's talking about planner has been helping. She was talking to me about how she's on the go. She travels for her other job, and she was getting texts or writing on sticky notes, notes about orders, and then misplacing them or forgetting to follow through on them. So I suggested to her to keep a planner with her, write it all down in the same place so that you'll come back and remember that you have to do that. If you use the same tool and you have everything there, it'll be a lot easier to keep up with everything. If I'm going to finish my day on Friday and there's something that I know I didn't finish that I need to work on Monday, I'll write it in on Monday. I love let's see, it's Blue Sky, and I order it from Amazon, and I really like it because it has both the monthly and the weekly view. So I write the month out ahead of time at the beginning of the month, and then I work through my days in the weekly view. And take time to relax. I was so focused on being successful for a few years that I was working too much. I was working too hard, and I was grumpy and frustrated. And don't get to that point. We want to enjoy our journey. We need to step back and take downtime, take me time, because we can be more productive when we take that time to relax and chill out. Yeah, Cheryl, I'm talking to you. I think we're a lot alike, because Cheryl and I are busybodies, and we need to chill out every once in a while. Okay, so for best practices, find your gift. What are you really talented at that you can share with your team? I really enjoy the online marketing. I've made a training kit about it, and I can pass that on to my team to try and teach them how to do that as well. So what are you successful at that you can help your team learn how to perfect? Communicate often. I think that's one of our strongest jobs as a leader, is to always be communicating. It's not our job to convince our team members that they should want to do well at Avon. I know that that's how we feel sometimes, but we need to be inspiring and motivating and teaching, and it's up to them to want to put in the effort. Do lots of recognition. I think this is huge. It's something that I've always loved about Avon. They're so good at recognizing us and making us feel special and important. I have a whole closet I need to go through of stuff that I've accumulated from Avon. But they've always done recognition really well. So that's something I have tried to pass on to my team. I recognize new reps. I recognize e-sales. I recognize leadership numbers. Recognize different groups of people, so it's just not all the same group that you're recognizing at all times. Keep your pipeline full of leads. So find how you can generate leads yourself along with the Alma leads. I have personal leads that come in supplementing those Alma leads. So that's how we're adding so many people every day, because I am constantly coming out with new recruiting material and sharing on social media to get new people to sign up. Name your team and write newsletters. I had someone reach out to me on Facebook about being in leadership for 10 years, and she wants to get more involved again. So something that if you're not doing anything, somewhere to start is to do a newsletter. So I do that every time we have a campaign close. I do a regular one, and then I also do a leadership one. I did these when I had like 20 people and nobody even acknowledged me. So sometimes you do things and you have to stick with it, even if it doesn't make sense at the time. If it's something that you know is going to help your business, keep the faith that your team is reading it and they do appreciate you, and they just may not be communicating that to you. Buy leads if you can afford it. Alma has been a great experience for me, and it has helped me grow my team very quickly. So definitely take advantage of Alma if you can. Try different recruiting tactics. If you don't like setting up at events, don't do it. I've done a few events. I didn't like it, but it doesn't mean that you won't. So try the different techniques and figure out what suits you. We can all be successful and we can all get there in different ways. I seem to always be the black sheep that does it completely differently than everyone else. But that's okay. As long as it makes you happy and you're finding success, then stick with it. And come up with an onboarding system. So, I talked about not forcing your new reps into being successful. Provide them with support, provide them with tools. I try to do that through articles and YouTube videos. I try to make it on demand so that those new reps who don't want my one-on-one help have the information there without having to talk on the phone with me or whatever. I try to have that training material for them, and I send it to them. It's up to them to watch it and utilize it. So come up with a system. I have 3 emails I send. I do have it posted on Makeup Marketers. Some of the information will have to be updated with the new Kickstart program coming out, but you're welcome to copy. And that is only on my Makeup Marketers website, and that is why I made that website, because I had makeup marketing online, and unfortunately some reps were copying entire blog posts and posting them as their own. So I put all of the information that's just for reps onto makeupmarketers.com, and that is a different website than my Makeup Marketing Online. It allows you to copy and paste. Makeup Marketing Online does not. Create a team Facebook group. So I try to touch my team through email, through Facebook, and then through these calls. So before, when I wasn't doing a team call, I felt like I was really missing out on connecting personally with my team members. So I love this. I get to see them, the ones that choose to let me put them on camera. And it's just the more you can interact and engage with your team, the more successful you will all be together. Oh, sure. Cheryl's saying next time. She's gonna I know what it's like. Sometimes when you have to get on a Zoom call, it's like, man, I just don't want to be seen. So that's fine. You guys don't have to. Create your own recruiting materials. So as I mentioned, not relying on Avon for your leads. Don't keep marketing on Facebook if you're not adding new people to your circles. my husband says the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So make sure that you're expanding that network. It really has to be a personal choice. I decided to connect with all kinds of people through Facebook and some of those other social media sites. It's really a personal preference if you want to keep that personal or expand it for your business. And you can do different settings. So if I want, my kids to stay private to my friends, I just adjust my Facebook setting. So there are ways to be more private, even though you're going to open it up to the public. So I like to make images. Here is where we went on a trip for a week, and I talk about how I had 1,200 in online sales and 7 new team members. That's the power of online marketing. You can be productive while you're on vacation. So I created this using pizzap.com. I always give credit to Lisa Monison. She's the one I heard that from. So I use that. I also use videos to try and recruit. So I'll talk about different topics that people might be looking into if they're exploring the opportunity. I'll write blog posts, and maybe they all pretty much say the same thing, but I say it in different ways. So when people are searching, they're searching in different ways. So one article may pop up as more relevant than another. So that's why you want to come up with so much different material. Being successful online is about activity and constantly being active, and we can schedule and automate those things so we're not living at our computer. So brand yourself, be creative, think of yourself as a brand. I really, in the beginning of my leadership journey, I did not like talking about myself. I didn't like taking pictures of myself. But the more you do it, the more comfortable you become. And you have to market yourself as a successful Avon representative. Why would someone want to join you if you don't think you're successful yourself? So you really have to start looking at yourself as a brand, building your resume, keeping track of the incentives you earn and how your sales are growing, how you've added to your team. Why should someone want to join your team? What makes you unique? And you want to market yourself as, an expert, because that's where people are going to want to go to join because they want that guidance. Use mixed media. So another trick to being successful online is to rotate different types of posts and use different tactics to see what works and what's successful. Because you might reach different groups of people depending on the type of the post that you put up. So try photos, do videos. I just created a couple of blog posts with the recruiting videos from our social media center. So use Avon's material as well as making your own material. Avon has a lot of recruiting stuff out there. It's just sometimes it's a trick to track it all down. Teach how to recruit. As a leader, we want to teach our team how to sell, how to recruit. Don't just be a manager saying, you need to do this. We need to help and teach them how. So make sure you're giving tools and tips to your team. And Kim's mixing her businesses. She does tattoos, so she's getting them to buy Avon. So that's good. Awesome. We have to make Avon fit into our lives, and we all do that differently. But you have to figure out what works best for you and your family. Okay, so tips for ambassadors and below. So I looked back at my leadership numbers, and just for those of you that aren't very familiar with leadership and the type of money you'll make, A unit leader is similar to an ambassador. That was what my title was back in 2012. I was earning about $65 a paycheck every 2 weeks for leadership, and I had 29 reps. I think I was somewhere around 30 to 40 reps, like from 2009 to 2013. So that shows you that I really didn't work it much. As an AUL, that's closer to a gold ambassador, I believe, or maybe even a leader. But I had 147 reps. I was making around 360. So the idea is when you move up in title, you earn more and more of a percentage of your whole team. So all that work in the beginning may feel like it's not paying off, but eventually it does. So you just have to keep going. Again, find ways that you enjoy doing. When it doesn't feel like work, it can be much more effective for you and for your team. You know, when they see that you're happy and having a good time and having fun with your business, people want to do that as well. Follow your mentors. So the people that, if you want high sales, follow those people who are getting high sales. If you want to be an executive leader, follow as many as you can and see how they got there. And then look at the next step. Like I mentioned, just looking at the level above. And double your sales goal because, you know, all those questions about how do you get a new rep to place their first order. The reality is we have a low startup cost. It's going up a little bit. But even at $25, someone may just blow it off and say, no, I don't want to sell Avon anymore. So always double your goal. If you want 5 reps to be active, recruit 10 people because it dwindles down how many place an order, and then it dwindles down to how many are actually successful. So you want to keep building that pipeline and keep adding new people to your team. Use incentives and programs to motivate. Sometimes I think we try to add on more than what's already there when we need to just be consistent with what Avon is providing. So we don't always have to pull out of our own pockets. A lot of times it's just reminding your team about the incentive that's going on and how they're tracking for that incentive. And helping new reps to get started. So don't try to force them, you know, try to contact them. If they do not respond, you can only do so much. All right, so let's take a look at tips for leader and above. So your strategy kind of changes as you move through the leadership levels. I was executive unit leader for the first time in 2015. I had about 180 reps and was making about $400 every 2 weeks on leadership. And the nice thing about leadership checks is that if you're always building your business and always adding people, that paycheck should just keep growing. And eventually, your team will be building itself. So hopefully at some point I don't have to work as much. But you have to look at the long-term profitability of being in leadership, not just what you're making today. So I'm now a gold leader. Back in campaign 9, I made this for a call. That's why I'm kind of old on the info. I should have updated. But anyways, I had 399 reps, and that's when I started making about 1,500 every 2 weeks. So again, provide your team with tools and tips. You don't always have to come up with your own material. I like to use other leaders as mentors for my team as well. Leaders that I think are successful and give really good advice. You know, there's a lot of them out there. So maybe you want to share Lisa Wilbur's video or Molly's video. So you can use your mentors to mentor your team as well. Give training tools as rewards. So I like to buy the view from the top for my team when they advance to ambassador. I try to come up with ways that they can have training tools, self-development tools that they may not want to spend their own money on. I was thinking with the fourth quarter coming up that I want to provide my top sellers with some extra sales tools. So maybe I'll put together some packages with samples and maybe extra flyers. So think about how you can help those people that are already doing well and help them in a way that they can boost their sales even more. Maybe you want to provide recruiting materials for all of your leaders. Sometimes people like to be directed on what to do. You know, sometimes we sit there and go over it in our head and then we never do anything because we just give up. So sometimes it helps to tell people, here, do this. Recognize your team in 3 groups. So I always separate them out by new reps, LOA 0 to 4, my whole team, and then my leaders, which sometimes I'll communicate with star promoter and above, and sometimes I'll communicate with all leaders, anyone who has signed someone up. Always be developing new leaders. Something that I forget sometimes is to provide recruiting tips to my whole team. We don't want to just focus on those people who have already started their journey. Host meetings or webinars. I have found the Zoom conference to be really a great addition to my routine. And teach your leaders how to use Downline Manager and their reports. It's important to use those reports to guide your team members. With the 40% discount program, we would go through my report and email everyone, you know, if they had an add-on order that they needed to do to make that $100 order, we would let them know how much they need and by what date. Sometimes that little piece of information is all it takes for them to accomplish that. So they'll be happy and you'll be happy. So use those reports to lead your downline. And then something that I do, which is probably an unusual strategy, but any of the leads that I get that do not self-appoint, I delegate to my leaders. So even all of my premium leads that I'm purchasing, I pass down to my leaders. If they're recruiting and building teams, that's going to make all of us successful. So it also allows me to spend more time on leadership and recruiting and sales. So it frees up my time and it helps them grow. And, you know, I am still adding quite a bit just by all those that self-appoint. All right, so here's a reminder of the timing for the onboarding programs. They changed it so that the start of Kickstart is going to be with appointments who placed their first order in campaign 22. So new reps through C16 play in all 12 of the 40% discount program. New reps 17 to 21 only play in the first 8. So this is the timing that I really hate because we have a lot going on right now with new reps and it's confusing for everyone. But just keep this on hand so that you have a quick reference to figure out which program your team member is on. Now I added this slide last minute, so if you printed out the handout, this one is not in there, but I should have added it because it's such an awesome earnings opportunity that we have coming up with onboarding. We want to teach our new team members to be growing every campaign. And I would imagine we'll have some really helpful reports in Downline Manager so that we can guide our new reps to be meeting all these goals so that they're making money, we're making money and everybody's happy. So $355 per successful new team member is the potential, and that's a whole lot more than 65. So hopefully everyone is as excited as I am for this to start and see how much money we can be bringing in bonus money. So the Rise Up incentive, this is really exciting. I forgot what the name of the other one is, but when I hit executive leader for the first time, I got the 2,500, and that's executive unit leader, the old title. So that was a huge incentive for me. So I hope you guys all see these big numbers and are motivated to go after that next title, maybe even two. And I was sending out you know, some emails to my leaders about here's where you need to be, here's what you can earn, and it's kind of scary because you have to meet this and then maintain it for 3 additional campaigns. So if we're looking at campaign 26 being our biggest campaign, and then it drops down in campaign 1, that means we want to be hitting those title advancements in campaign 22 or 23. So we got to be on the ball and moving. When I was sending this out to my team, I was like, oh my gosh, that's coming up really fast. So start communicating now with your team members. There's opportunity to earn a lot of money, but they have to advance and then maintain it. So that's for a total of 4 campaigns. I have different emails that I sent out based on sales level. I'd be happy to share what I wrote in those if you're interested. But again, I want to, you know, I'm going to go out and market this to my whole team that they can earn $1,000 just by meeting ambassador and maintaining that. This is the easiest time to move in titles, so we should all have that goal. Upcoming events, RepFest on the road. Hopefully you have an email invitation from your district manager. It's another thing that I went to Your Avon for and couldn't find it anywhere. I'm really hoping they're like completely revamping youravon.com, because the information on there right now is so bad. So out of date. It was frustrating for me putting together this this presentation. I couldn't find any information. My next call is the Avon representative one update. I'll be covering sales and recruiting topics. So that's September 22nd. I'll put the link to register in your follow-up email. The new Avon changes. If you want to learn more about the onboarding programs and those incentives, there's a call tomorrow at 11 a.m. and then one on the 12th at 11 and 8:30 Eastern. So that was in our representative news. You can click on the link in there to register for those webinars. As far as makeup marketing content, I do have videos and webinars specific to new representatives. I started doing my top achievers email again. What I do is send it to my new reps and my leaders and my top sellers every campaign and say, you know, you did an outstanding job. If you'd like my makeup marketing materials for free, I'd be happy to send them to you. So it's a way to get those people that want to learn more about marketing online my training materials at no cost to them. So maybe you want to think about something you can do for your top sellers and top recruiters to help them build their business. Anyone on Team Momentum, I'm happy to send you guys my training kit. I usually do one bundle at a time, so email me if you haven't already requested one. I created a video on how do you get paid selling Avon, because I get that question all the time. So I thought it might be helpful to do a video about it. How to link to a particular product on your e-store. A lot of people ask me about that. It's pretty simple when you watch the tutorial, so watch that one. And I also found a little tip that how you can reach more of your Facebook fans. So I was not reaching a lot of people. I found a really quick fix to reach like hundreds more. So definitely watch that video. And then if you use Buffer, I have one on that as well. So subscribe to my YouTube. I am all about trying to make more videos this year. So you'll be notified of all of them if you sign up. And then I just put some of the other people that have created YouTube channels. And I think I can never see my clock on here. If you guys have any questions, I'd be happy to spend a little time with some Q&A. If you guys want to put it in the chat box if you have any questions. Not sure what's going on with my, there we go. Uh-oh, Rob. Cheryl wants to know if you tried the sauerkraut yet. He said he's waiting. We'll make him try it this weekend. Party etiquette. If you're doing a home party, I would try to have as many sales tools as possible. Don't go overboard trying to have a bunch of products on hand. Have some from each category, maybe some of the most popular products so they can touch and feel some, and have fun with it. Have sales tools, and you know, I actually got into Avon because I didn't really like doing home parties, and I was doing Pampered Chef. And I wanted to get away from the home parties, but I did some, and I have some tips for you. I'm just not the perfect person to ask, but I do have some information for you. Where do you get the cheaper, older brochures? Cheryl, I know Cheryl knows that. There's a particular item number you use. Let's see, currently an ambassador. When I have a new appointment who gets going with the new program, I earn 20 for each successful, and they earn 50. You earn 20 when they hit those sales goals. So it starts at 150 and it goes up by 50 each campaign for their first 6 campaigns. To be honest, I need to go back and look at the Kickstart information. Oh, no, I know. Okay, so they have to meet those goals to earn the 40%. So if they meet those sales goals, they get 40% earnings. So they don't get a flat $50. It's a goal to get them to earn the 40% discount. So to gain more followers, that means liking. To be honest, with being sociable on people on social media, that is not a technique that I have really tried or that I know much about. I know I presented with Janet Miller at RepFest, and her technique was very different from mine. It was going into work from home or job sites, job Facebook groups, and finding people looking for work and approaching them privately through personal message. So I think it does work for some people. I don't get onto social media to like and comment for my Avon business. I do that more for my personal downtime. So I find it more effective to be putting information out there and interacting with people on my own posts, as opposed to looking through my news feed and trying to find people that may want to sell Avon or buy Avon. That's my experience. I'm sure many people have different techniques that have worked as well. Do you only reward first gen? I try to include all 3 generations. Up until this point, I have. Now that my team is getting to the point where it's too much to try and communicate with all them, I have handed over some of the things that I was doing for all 3 generations to my leaders who are ambassador and above. I think that people that are new promoters and new star promoters, I take the leadership role and involve them so they kind of learn what to do. And then I give it over to them when they become ambassador. But I don't, as far as recognition goes, I recognize all 3 generations. And I did just start doing greeting cards. So welcome to the team, happy birthday, happy anniversary. Our team is too big for me to be doing that for all 3 generations anymore. So I am only doing the welcome and the birthday and anniversary to first generation. Lori agrees with me about the home parties, but we shouldn't knock it because it is a very good way to reach a group of people. I always recommend to people to find groups to sell to, not just one customer at a time. Is your first campaign yes, so your first campaign starts when you place your first order. Okay, Cheryl's got the number that if you're in leadership, you can use item number 045217 and get 10 brochures for $1. But you have to be in leadership to get the cheaper brochures. I would call, either ask Cheryl, maybe Cheryl can post in Makeup Marketing Online the deal with the older brochures. She knows more about it than I do. If they get a new successful recruit, they earn $50. Honestly, I need to look at my little cheat sheets to get all of the rules straight right now. I know that to be a qualified Kickstart recruit, they have to place a $150 order within their first 30 days. I think you're correct on the $50, but I need to look at my support guide to remember. Okay, let's see. It's been hard to make it. I have 2 clients. How do I try to ship their orders for less than $7 to $10 shipping? I have placed 2 orders for online customers this week. People that are having trouble with their password, or I don't know why they wanted my help to place their online orders, but what I do is go on to my website. I make sure that I either run their payment through Square or send them a PayPal invoice. I log in as my own customer on my e-store, and I use my customer as the shipping address. So definitely do that. Include a brochure for them. It's a way that you can utilize your e-store to get orders to people that you may not be able to reach, or it's too costly to reach them yourself. Do I use LinkedIn? I do use LinkedIn. It's part of my strategy. I don't think it has brought much in for me, and I don't actively go after people that are looking for a job. It hasn't been a tool that I've really used much for my business, but I do still have it. I started a group 6 years ago on there called Selling Avon, and it has 7,000 reps in it. But I don't think many people use LinkedIn as much anymore with Facebook. How do you handle people who refuse to stop calling on your days off? I've tried ignoring those calls when I'm off work. You know, is it a custom? Well, I guess, you know, you have to do things on your own terms and what works best for you. As long as you are following back up with people and it doesn't take days to get back to them, you know, people have to accept how you run your business, and you have to set those boundaries, because otherwise people will take advantage of you. You'll be frustrated, your family will be frustrated. You know, you have to set those boundaries, and I think it's really important when we're working from home. You know, sometimes you have to say no, or you have to say sorry. So, you know, just use your manners, try to be nice to people. And, you know, that's all you can do. As long as you're following up with people, then I wouldn't worry too much about it. Starting more with focusing on sales or equally. I would definitely focus equally. If there was one thing I would change about my Avon journey, it would be getting into leadership earlier. Yeah, that's another thing you can do. If someone really needs your help immediately, you can give them the number to Avon customer service, or you know, some people just want to be acknowledged that you know, that maybe you are busy and you can't get to them right away. So maybe respond back to them that you'll be back with them tomorrow, or whatever it is. Some people get frustrated if they're not getting an answer. So as long as you acknowledge them and tell them when you are available, sometimes that works too. How hard is it to reach? I think you guys are chatting with each other on there. You know, some customers, I'll tell you a little story before I wrap up. Some customers are not worth it. I had a customer that I helped place her online order, and she had written in the email that she wanted the Skin So Soft Original Shower Gel, along with some other things. So I ordered that for her. She received her order and said she was very upset with me. And so I went back and I looked at her email, because she said she wanted the creamy body wash instead of the shower gel, and I had ordered her the wrong products. So I went back and looked at her email, and it said Skin So Soft Original Shower Gel. So I said to her nicely, you know, I apologize, even though it wasn't my fault. I said, I'm sorry, I must have misunderstood you, but in your email you said the shower gel. Anyways, I said, but that's okay, I'll fix it for you. So then, 2 days ago, I fixed it for her, and I sent her the creamy body wash, and I wasn't going to charge her the difference for the shower gel and the body wash, and she got mad because she wanted both of them at the $4.99 price. Well, I had bought her the two for $8.99, so I was saving her money. I didn't charge her extra for her messing up telling me, and she still said that that would be her last order with me. So those customers to me are not worth it. I set my boundaries, and you know, I don't let people walk on me, because this life and interruptions and, you know, everything can run you over in this life if you don't take charge. Once you take charge and accept responsibility for what's going on in your life, things become much easier. So thank you guys for joining. I hope you enjoyed it and found some helpful information. You guys all have a great night. I will post the recording, and have a great weekend. Bye.